Okay. Hey, Shalom, Makiam. We would like to start off by giving out honor and glory to Yahweh, by Shem, Yahushua, by Shem, Kakodash. I also want to give double honors to our apostles, the great millstone, Ruel, and peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. I was a Zahabin to my left.
Yashama.
All right, and you got it, bro.
Okay, come. All right, we're going to another weekly lesson, with GMS Mississippi Camp. All right, this week lesson is going into snares, trap, and lust, because the brother, this lesson was inspired, by the brother from Birmingham, the brother R1. He made a beautiful point, and he was talking about traps, how Esau ensnares people in traps. But the thing that traps you is your lust, because when you look at, how, animals are snared, when you go fishing, what you put a worm, on the hook, you see, and the worm that lusts, the fish that lusts after that worm, that's who gets trapped. You're not going to get, a shark, all right, trying to bite a worm. You had to use different bait. You had to use another fish, some flesh to catch the shark. So the trap is customized towards your lust. That's why you see the traps of society that a lot of our people constantly fall to are catered to their lust. And then on the lower level, these particular women, as we're going to go into, they have, traps set based on the lust of men. So you can get it, bro. We start out with Ecclesiastes 7:26.
Ecclesiastes 7:26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bands. Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her.
Yeah, and it says, and I find more bitter, all right, than woman death. Now we're going to get a couple words. That word bitter, all right, in the Hebrew, it's marah, all right, amar, and it goes into bitterness. It says of harlot's end, the end of wickedness. It says to be angrily, to be heavy. Yeah, because a lot of men, especially in this society, in this time frame, that deal with these women, the end result is that they're bitter because the relationship started off a night of lust, hooking up, we in this hookup culture. You hook up based off your lust, and then you have children, all right, and what happens, man? It gets bitter, all right, and that's what it is in this society, You start things based off your lust, but the end of is bitter because it was all a snare and a trap, So when you get Revelation 17, we're gonna go back to that. Ecclesiastes, get Revelation 17 and 4.
Revelation 17:4. It says, and the Revelation 17:4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Yeah, and it's speaking of America. Now, you see the woman is decked out. And what is that? That's a trap. When you look at it, it's a trap. That's a seduction.
Those flamboyant colors.
Yeah. It's all a trap. America is a great big trap, and it's decked out because you look at America, you look at all these cities, these downtowns, these strips, this place is decked out for you to do what? Fulfill your lust, but it's full of abomination, man. And the ends to bitterness, like the end game of this shit is bitterness, man. You look at those people that live those party lives in their 20s and 30s, you look at them in their 40s and 50s, you can see it in their face, man. But what? They was enticed by lust. You see? Go ahead.
All right. And verse 5, Revelation 17:5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Yep. And see, the men, all right, whom the Lord put the spirit on, because it's talking about how the prophets understand what? The mystery. He gave his mysteries to the servants, the prophets. So we're starting to understand this whore, the actual women, of this society and this whole system dealing with America. We understand the snares and the traps, that's set up to destroy and devour the souls of men. You see? Go ahead.
Right, verse 6. Revelation 17:6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. When I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
And he wondered with great admiration. And he didn't even see she was drunken with the blood of the saints. You know, which America has a lot of blood, you know, of Israelites, you know, on their hand, man. You know, when you go how this place was founded and these different systems that has constantly destroyed our people. All right, America is drunken with the blood of the saints. But see, you still see how what John wondered, he admired, you know, this woman. You see? And that's what this whole society is about, is to keep the man just constantly wondering and admiring and chasing his lust, man. You know, that you don't have time for a purpose. You know, you constantly ensnared within the lust. You know, and your lust just create problem after problem after problem.
Stress, anxiety.
Yep, it's a Jake at work. This man, he's a good worker, but he got so much shit going on out on the outside due to decisions he made 10, 5, 7 years ago with all these baby mamas. You know, he done create all these different snares and traps, and the situation just keep getting worse and worse and worse, man. You know, you got it, bro.
This is Sirach 25:21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure.
Yep, that's why you're not supposed to deal with women just based strictly off of pleasure. All right, if you want to add a woman to your household, you know, the deciding factor shouldn't be based, all right, on pleasure or her appearance. That shouldn't be the deciding factor, you know. But this society has taught us that, you know, you go for a certain look. She be shallow as hell. She empty. Then the scriptures say when you go back to Ecclesiastes 7:26, and because King Solomon is putting us on game, man. You got it, bro.
Ecclesiastes 7:26. I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her.
It said whose heart is snares and net, which is her mind. Hey, because you know, dealing with especially the women of the southern kingdom, it's always some type of scheme or plot. You got to always be trying to figure her out. Like, what is she up to? What is she on? And then you be figuring out shit as she goes. Like the story that she gave, all right, it starts unraveling, and you figuring it out as you go. But at the end of the day, it's full of snares and trap. That's all her mind is thinking, is how to trap or entangle this guy. You know, how can I manipulate what he got and make it mine? And that's the mind frame of who? Esau, Edom. You know, even when you go back to just the instance in the editions of Esther with Haman, here it is. He was elevated to this high position, but his whole mind was, how can I make the kingdom of the Persians my kingdom, man? And that's how a woman operates. How can I get his glory? How can I get his substance? You know, how can I get his mind, his soul? You know, how can I get his worship? You see, the mind just full of snares and traps. Even on some simple shit like you'll go out and the woman will act like she into you just so you can try to talk to her just to turn you down. That was just like a little trap so she can have one up on you, you know, so she can kind of destroy a little piece of your confidence. You be like, damn.
Because that's, you know, Judah is on a mission. Is to destroy the Israelite man's confidence, man. All right, but like the brothers going into it's snares, man. All right, something that, you know, I've learned in this truth is that the way you overcome that is you got to overcome the lust inside of you. It's because you think you're weak to it. Really, that goes into inner working, man. Not saying that we didn't overcame the flesh already. We don't need no, but part of that is just overcoming lust in general, man. You know.
And that's what I get this for you, real. I think it's
I was gonna get this scripture. The nations are drunk enough for a wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Yep, you can get that. Now I got a quick one for you, real quick.
Okay, you get that real quick.
This is the book of Sirach 18:30. It says, "Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thine appetites."
Because it's heavy that the brothers get into this. Because I was meditating on this the last few days, and it's your lust.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much the woman; it's your lust within you.
That's what gives the woman the power.
That's what gives her the power. But once you constantly immersed in this truth, all right, and you give yourself over more to the spirit than the flesh, that woman automatically has no power.
Mm-hmm.
They say like animals can sense fear.
Yep.
But if you don't fear them, they have no power.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm. And we'll keep reading.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she shall make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies that malign thee."
Yeah. If you give yourself over to your lust, all right, your lust is going to make you that's the nature. Mm-hmm. Everything has a nature.
Yep.
And the nature of your lust is basically to consume you.
Yep.
And now you look like you're a laughing stock.
Yep.
You got people who they're lust or they're a fiend for drugs.
Mm-hmm.
You see them as like, just imagine you went to school with a guy that was popular. He was this, he was that, and 10 years later he's subject to a drug. It's like, damn. Yep. But you was going into the lust with the women. You was a player between the ages of 18 and your early 20s, but now you're in your late 20s with baby mamas. You never moved out. You never got something put in your name.
Yep.
Yeah,
like you say, you had that playboy lifestyle.
Yeah.
But you never attained anything in life, man. You never leveled up. You never learned, trades, skills, that was valuable, to the economy. You just was a nigga that knew how to trap women. Cause like on the reverse side, like, niggas know how to trap women because what? Women lust is a nigga with money.
Yep.
And niggas have mastered how to imitate a nigga with money.
But and then going into those snares, like Esau used a culture to ensnare you.
Yep.
Like nigga culture ensnares Jake.
Yep.
Street culture. Like you said, Jake never obtained the skill. So all throughout his 20s, he was trying to be a street nigga.
Yep.
Because the snare was the promise of a lump sum of money at one time.
Yep.
Yep. So you got snared into that shit.
Yep.
Now you're in a cage called prison.
Yep.
Or in a box called a coffin.
Yep.
But that was a snare. And Esau says Esau was a cunning hunter. Now you got all these women, they've been ensnared by the feminist movement. And you went into that word bitter.
Yep.
Now they're bitter.
They're bitter.
Because the snare was the philosophy.
Yep.
Yep.
Man, it's deep. And going back to America, it's a big snare.
It's
like America is the big harlot, but then you have, harlots within the harlot.
Yeah. But they call it game.
Yep.
It's like, oh, he got game.
Yep.
Or she got game. But what do you call it in hunting when you hunt something? Game.
Yep.
Are you small game, big, large game?
Yep. That's just like we were talking about earlier, man. Like, because when you hunting, you have a goal in mind.
Yep.
Like if you go fishing, you be like, I'm gonna leave, after I get 20-something fish. The nigga, all right, a nigga has a goal in mind, like you say.
Mm-hmm.
Women has a goal in mind, like she, like women, hey, they be looking for 2 or 3 different baby daddies that are high earners.
Because that's passive income for them. They get them babies. That's passive income, man.
I'm gonna keep reading.
Good.
All right. And then you look at our nation as a whole, we a laughing stock because we're a nation that goes after lust.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and the nigga want these, these careers. Or these, lifestyles that promise, women and money. The women, they want the money and glory. So everybody's going after their lust, and nobody has learned, any wife skills, husband responsibility. Nobody knows any duties. It's just a big laughing stock, man.
Niggas in their 40s and 50s with nothing.
Yep.
That's why the other nations, they can set up stores and they sell you your lust.
Yep.
And they'll go to Sam's Club, Costco's, and take that stuff out the packet and put it in singles. They'll go to even Walmart, take drinks and stuff out the packet and put it in singles because you're impulsive. Because you don't even have to get grants or nothing. You could just go to Sam's Club and Costco's and whatnot and just buy stuff for your family. But Jake is so one day oriented that he'll allow heathens to set up shop in his hood take the stuff out the packet and sell it to them in singles.
Yeah.
He sell you water in singles, condoms in singles. Then he sells you your lust like Black and Miles and cigarettes, candy. He sells you everything because that's your lust, man. Cigarillos. But he just takes it out the packet and sell it to you in singles, man.
Big beards and shit.
Yeah.
Big ass beard.
That's somebody that's subject to their lust where they're impulsive buyers.
Yeah.
Like, you got grocery shopping, right?
Yep.
But instead of going grocery shopping, you go to a fast food joint every day.
Yep.
3 times a day you at a drive-through. That's a nation of people who don't think ahead.
They'll make you a laughing stock.
Yep.
Now you overweight.
Yep, you fat.
You know?
My 600-pound life.
Yep.
You know?
That's that Snares and traps.
But yeah, those sugars inside the food.
5 for 5.
That's a snare. They know the income of the demographic they targeting, man. 5 for 5, 4 for 4, 2 for 1. Those are snares, man. You know? And even the concept of child support. That was a fucking snare of divide and conquer the nation. The welfare system. That was a snare for Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you don't need them, man. I'm gonna set it up to where you can be in the house by yourself and fuck whoever you want to, because I'm gonna put you in the welfare system.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fucking snare, and look at the results. The brothers beautifully going into, and we're a nation that's a laughing stock because we fall for every snare that the hunter, because it says Esau's a cunning hunter, that he put out for us, man.
Nigga voted for Joe Biden.
2021, you voted for Joe Biden, man. 2020, man.
Laughing stock.
Laughing stock, man.
Because they laughing. Because they, even if he's acting like he got dementia, they like, these niggas still voted. Mm-hmm. These niggas this desperate for some type of salvation.
Some type of Messiah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reading on, it says, take not pleasure in much good cheer, neither be tied to the expense thereof. And really, it's that club life, man. They're going out all the time, man. Because that's an expense. Because if you go, let's say you go to the club every weekend, well, in the month, let's just say on the low scale, you spend $80 every weekend going out. In a month time, all right, that's $320 a month that you're spending on lust. All right, especially as an Israelite man, your incentive for going out is very low, because the woman, she can spend $12 on the outfit, some tights and a t-shirt, some $5 shoes, and she can meet a nigga that's gonna give her some money for that night, buy her drinks. Yep. Another nigga gonna buy her drinks. She has an incentive to go out, going to that lust. But as an Israelite man, all right, Jake, when you go out, all right, you gotta have a $200, all right, pair of shoes, $150 for the shirt and pants.
Then you gotta buy the fucking liquor with the sparklers.
Yeah.
So it's like $200 right there.
Yeah.
You
gotta do all this just for the hopes, just for the put yourself to, in the runnings, for Eve.
That's a sign of like our nation has been stripped of self-worth.
Yep.
Why would you play the narrative that I'm only worthy of talking to you if I spend all this money on myself?
Yep.
If I gotta project to you that I got enough money to spend the same amount of money on you. Yep. Why would you talk to somebody that wouldn't talk to you unless you did that, man?
Yeah. That's and like you say, it's showing that we gotta heal, man. Yeah. And we all heal it from it. Yeah. You see? But the spirit of Yahweh, that's why Yahweh Shai is so important. The scriptures is like that big brother putting you on the game. Constantly putting us on game, man. Yahweh Shai steady talking to little brother, putting us on game, man, so we won't fall victim to this shit, man. Let me finish it off. And it says, that was it, yep. I read it again. It said, take no pleasure in much good cheer, neither be tied to the expense thereof. And it says much, that means an overconsumption. That doesn't mean you can't never go enjoy yourself. And then, like I say, we coming into a royal etiquette now. We enjoy ourselves different. All right, going around that ratchet shit. We on something else now. If we do step out, it's gonna be on a whole nother vibe, man. A whole nother wave, a whole nother scenery, man. Because we evolving from nigga shit, man. But going back into it, this place is full of snares and traps, man.
Yeah,
you got it, bro.
James 1:12.
Yep.
Blessed is the man that endured temptation. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life,
Yep.
which Yahweh have promised to them that love him.
Yep.
Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Yahweh, for Yahweh cannot be tempted with evil.
Yep.
Neither tempted he any man.
Yep.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
Your own lust.
And enticed.
Because it begins with you lusting. Every situation you find yourself in, it begins with you lusting. It begins with you going on a certain app. You know,
Yep.
It begins with you going on a certain website. It begins with you, it begins with a lust, Then that's where you get drawn. That's where we can get drawn further into something, man. That's why the scriptures, like you always go into, the scriptures is about preventive measures.
Yeah.
You see, the reason why you look at a woman, back in the ancient world, while she was covered up like that, there was a preventive measure to keep other men. If a woman was married, she would have her face covered, her body covered. She would have a certain attire when she went out. Why was that? That was a preventive measure to keep men from lusting, because men built a certain way.
Yep.
You see? And that's why Esau has over-sexualized this society, or you keep your men, just in that Johnny Bravo spirit all over the place, man. With no purpose but to bust a nut. Like a nigga, what's that nigga who got the stimulus check and put a billboard up?
Oh yeah. We had a local Jake, man. They got his stimulus money and put a bill up talking about if you lonely, call me.
Yeah, a billboard up.
Yeah, a billboard up, man.
Yeah.
So when you driving downtown, you see this nigga.
Yeah.
Then he takes a selfie by the billboard to put on Facebook, man.
True.
Well, you could have put that money into something that generated more money, man.
Super stupid.
But Jake is only that instant gratification.
Yep.
The instant gratification, you don't even think ahead.
Yep.
Even when it comes to women, if you delay gratification and invest in yourself, that's equivalent to growing a garden and attracting butterflies.
Yep.
So instead of chasing, I got that from some guy that wrote a book, but instead of chasing butterflies, you grow your own garden that attracts butterflies.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's a different type of energy, like that brothers want around them now. So like brothers evolving so much. It's like the scripture, like you said, the scripture's a filter to keep, that dumb shit, away from you. Like, you're not drawn to that shit that Jake, like, that's not your lust anymore, If
I can just say this, they'll be insulting to a king to present him with a woman with high mileage.
Yep.
To present him with a woman that's basically a prostitute.
Yep.
And one thing about lust, it makes you maneuver like a peasant.
Like a beast.
Like a beast. And peasants, they're beastly.
Yep.
When the scripture goes into living after the flesh, that word flesh goes back to sardics, but basically it goes back to flesh, like an animal.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're a slave to your lust, you become oblivious to quality.
Yep.
See, we love women, don't get us wrong, but it's a such thing as a grade of women. There's a grade of women that's suited for a man of the Lord.
Yep.
And it's more spiritual than physical.
Yep.
Because
we understand, even with, like the brother in Cali, he did a lesson going to how semen affects a woman.
Yeah.
Because it's much more than what we've been taught, man. Mm-hmm. We were brought up. Look how filthy we was brought up, man. The rap industry, the porn industry, the club life. We was brought up in filth. Yeah. So we're being cleansed now, man. So, a woman to smoke cigarette, like, no, that's a no.
Then you gotta ask yourself, man. If a woman is no different from a prostitute, then get you a prostitute. And we're not telling brothers to go get a prostitute, but you gotta ask yourself, this woman that you're looking at, what separates her from the way she moves? What's different from the way a prostitute moves? If she's sexually enticing you and you know she wants money, what is it that makes her different?
You might want to negotiate.
Straight
to the point.
Yeah.
Start the negotiation. And fuck it.
Well, once you overcome lust, man, you overcome the woman.
Yep, you overcome the society.
You overcome the society.
Because that's really the main thing, that we're taught, to overcome in the scripture. You get that in Colossians 3.
Yep.
And I think 4 or 5, started 4 or 5.
Yep.
Get ready to wrap it up.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, man, this battle is mainly within us, man, because when you overcome, the lust, you overcome, the lust within, you overcome the obstacles without, the traps that set up everywhere, Go ahead.
Colossians 3 and 5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth.
Yeah, mortify means to kill. You see, you gotta have a kill switch on the flesh. Shut it off.
And just kind of just add,
Yep.
Hey, get rid of some of those things that entice you.
Yep.
Certain apps, certain places you go where you finna fall into a Venus flytrap.
Yep.
And get rid of certain key things, man.
Yep.
And your spirit will start healing,
Yep.
Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscences, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
Yep. Hey, because at the end of the day, these are all lifestyles linked to idolatry.
Yeah.
Idol worship was linked, to fulfilling the flesh. That's why you had those Babylonian temple harlots. Like every woman in Babylon had to get a train ran on. Like that was, like a ritual. You see? And it was based off what? The flesh. That's a lifestyle of idolatry. We have a much more conservative lifestyle. Like you said, pleasure isn't wicked. All right, it's a standard to it, and it's supposed to be temperate with it. Because like you said, that woman that was fully covered up from head to toe. All right, that woman that was fully covered up from head to toe. That when she was out in public, but that same woman when she come home with her husband, she fine as hell.
Yep.
With her and her husband, she fine as hell when they doing anything. So it ain't nothing wrong with a woman having curves or being fine, but it's a order to it, it's a standard to it, it's a way to it,
Yep. Because if not, then that's why they have the term "she's for the streets."
She's for the streets.
What makes the husband special if he finna get what every nigga already had?
Yeah, or he's seeing the same thing that every nigga has seen all day.
Yep.
What's the point?
What's the point?
You just footing the bill.
Yep. You buy, like the old heads say, why pay for the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Yeah.
All these niggas got the milk for free, but they want you to pay for the whole cow.
That's snare.
It's a fucking snare, man.
Yeah, you finished it.
All right. Colossians 3 and 6. For which things sake the wrath of Yahweh cometh on the children of disobedience.
Yeah, and because our people that never overcome, the flesh, they're going to be found lacking in the day of judgment because they never cut the flesh off and started building in the spirit. They never cut it off. So in the time of judgment, they're going to be looked at as beasts, man. Like Psalm 73, it says, "O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image." The image of what? This beast. So when Yahweh shall come back, and if you moving in that way of a beast, he's going to despise you because you never learned how to cut off the flesh, man.
They're Roman.
Yep.
They're wild, man.
Yep. Go back to that James. You can end there. I think it's 1 started at 2. Because you spent speaking on patience, man. That's a heavy theme, man. That patience, man. We gotta possess it, man. Go ahead.
James 1 and 2. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations.
Yep.
Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
Yep. Hey, because the trying of your faith is the trying of the lust. Hey, because your lust, like you say, your lust wants it right now. But faith knows that it requires patience. Something that you want that's of high quality, it's going to require patience. That's for men and women, So, brothers, we got to wait. You can't just be adding women, to your lives based on your lust and, based on just because you burn.
And just getting in our homeland, Jerusalem, in this ancient living, all right, people were arranged to be married.
Yep.
They love each other. They grew to love each other over the years.
Because you're going to love a woman, by nature, a man going to love a woman that's in order and that knows and that has understanding of her duty.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're gonna love that that woman. You're gonna grow to love her more and more. It's just the same thing with a man. A woman is gonna love a man that has a hedge of protection around her and is a provider and is a wise guide to their household.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna, that's why you can have arranged marriages because the women and men were bred different, man.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't all this random shit. Oh, we both like the Saints. We both drink some watermelon. Stupid ass shit like that, man.
Shit.
You got it, bro.
My brethren, James 1 and 2 again. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this is the trying of your faith worketh patience.
The trying of your faith worketh patience, man. You see? And that's what it is, man. Like, it's these things pulling, your lust pulling at you, but we gotta practice restraint. We gotta practice restraint, man. And the big indicator, one thing about it, before you indulge in lust, the Most High always throws blockers out there. Now your lust gonna say ignore that,
Mm-hmm.
but the Most High is throwing them blockers out there to tell you calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
All right, verse 4. But let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing.
You gotta let patience have their work, because patience is working on us. You see, it's gonna make you the best king you can be, for the for the kingdom to come. Mm-hmm. It's gonna make you the best wife to be to a king in the kingdom to come. It's gonna be with patience though, man. And we gotta get out that low grade mentality, man.
Low grade.
Yep.
Cause I got a lesson coming, Abba willing. The low grade was for the heathen.
Yep.
If you had meat that died of itself,
yep,
that's low grade.
Yep.
You had a woman that, what did the Most High say? Give it out to the heathen.
Yep. A priest couldn't deal with nothing but virgins.
Yeah.
A priest couldn't. If she had sex one time with one man, out of there, yep, she disqualified.
And the Most High, we was like a brand.
Yep.
The nation of Israel was like a brand of purity, man. Yep. That was the brand the Most High was pushing on the planet Earth, man. A God-like people.
Mm-hmm.
Cleanliness is next to godliness, right? Mm-hmm. All right, verse 4 again. But let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh, to give it to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
Yep. So the mind frame that we should be in, is growing, within this thing, man, and letting the Most High just add how he gonna add, I say, like the even Apostle Paul say, if you loose, seek not to be married, and if you married, seek not to be loose, man, because you want to be loose so you can do what? Play the field,
Be a beast.
Yeah, be a beast, man. You see?
It brings that shit when sex is an extension of porn, that shit brings out the animal in you, man.
Yep.
And the brother Magan, Bun, Yahawada, Bun, Yasha'Allah says low grade equals instant gratification.
Yep.
And it never fails.
Yep.
That microwave shit is always low grade.
That's another lesson. Wait on quality, man.
Yeah.
Wait for quality, man. Wait for better.
That's a kingly mindset.
Yep. Have a spirit I'd rather do without until something better comes. Like I say, and being deprived, that suffering, man, especially as a man, we gotta go through these different sufferings, man. That's building us for the times to come, man. Making us leaders in the time to come, man, because in the midst of chaos, man, there's gonna have to be Israelite men that lead, the nation, man.
And suffering is a purification agent.
Yep.
Suffering gets those unclean spirits off you, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that filth that you've accumulated in Babylon and old man,
yep,
the Most High used an agent called suffering to purge it off your spirit, man.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that was it.
Hey, well, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. I know I was. And once again, when we want to give our honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, HaKadosh, double honors to our apostles, great millstone, Ruel. Peace and blessed house, David the elect, Abba, Kom Yashala, Shalom.
Shalom.